Anthony Hudson here for the clash between Richmond and Collingwood. Today back at the MCG. Today's match, Richmond and Collingwood. They run on in full confidence, they're looking sharp, and the crowd are appreciating it. The banners are ready for the players.
Yo,
You
what's
there?
up? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's been a fair bit of play out, hasn't there?
Yeah, pick 41. 41. It's
43 it was.
43, yeah, it's... Bulldogs gotta get some picks as well, don't they, for Father Son?
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of weird how, like, how we copped a whole bunch of media crap over all that stuff, and
And
everyone knew,
Hawthorn are
oh,
doing the same.
well, I think when it comes to the dogs, like I reckon with people going into this trade period, like I don't reckon anyone really knew, you know, the dogs were in the same boat as us. But for some reason, the media obviously mentioned us the majority of the time, saying, "Oh, you know, that the Pies are going to make sure that we've got obviously enough points." And you know, I think we do now in the end. But yeah, I guess it'll. You know, just the fact that they haven't been as like they haven't had the same energy towards Bulldogs as well. I think it's a bit interesting, I reckon.
Yeah, I have noticed that a fair bit when it comes down to that, and it's just like, well, Hawthorn want to ship off some players. And then it's just like, well, why aren't they copying the fair amount of heat that we have?
Well, no, I remember seeing an interview where Tom Brown was talking about, you know, Lipinski, I think it was yesterday. And he was putting, like, so many things in, like, the favour of the Bulldogs that wasn't funny. So I was kind of thinking, like, what if, because obviously they're related, like, his dad is Jeff Brown. So I was kind of thinking to myself, like, what would be the chances if, like, he's not going out of his way to tear down Collingwood, but, like, what if there's ever a 50-50 call, he just then, in the interest of his dad, he then backs, you know, whoever Collingwood is, like,
Yeah,
like,
that's
trading with?
Yeah, I don't know how that would go. On top of that,
because it was always just like little things, like, you know, because obviously you got like, because he would say, oh, you know, Lipinski's played over 10 games, and you know, like he's like trying to make things better than what they seem.
yeah.
And then there's other people in the media that do the opposite, where they try to make things worse than what they seem. But they always try to do it against Collingwood's favour. It's really strange.
I love that whoever is watching turn chat. Yeah, I don't know, like, we always tend to cop as a club no matter what. I think that's just part of being a Collingwood supporter, is that we cop it far more. I think the good thing is, yeah, it's very exciting news. Non-plays, it's really good.
Or isn't someone
I
being
wasn't too
interviewed at
sure if I
Collingwood or
wasn't.
something? I could have sworn that I saw a notification that someone was going to get interviewed on radio. I want to say it was Graham Wright, but I'm not too sure. So I wonder what the update is with everything. Because I thought Lynch was going to get done,
That's what
and
I thought.
like, and I mean like, obviously Lipinski's done. Like I thought that was going to go down to the last day, but obviously didn't. But I did have a feeling today was going to have something. I just didn't know exactly what it was.
Cheeseman. No, I was originally supposed to go to the podiatrist, but she wasn't well, so I'm seeing her tomorrow. That's why.
Mm.
Mate, you know one thing? Criminal. Yeah, I can agree.
Wait, who's a criminal?
I don't know. That's what Numplay says.
Okay. Yeah, even with the Nick Dacos thing, how like he was a Carlton supporter, I feel like even the media's even used that against us too. But I mean, that's been common knowledge for like 3-4 years.
Yeah, no. When you make comments, can you try and put it in one sentence? So it makes it like easier as well. So with the Nick Dacos went for Carlton, just to as a child next to it, so that way it makes it a lot more easier. Yeah, it's alright, man. It's just trying to help you out.
Yeah, it's better to do like full sentences.
Yeah, it's
than,
better to do full sentences and then
yeah.
try and keep commenting as well.
Yeah, because if you write a whole bunch of messages and stuff, it just means that, you know, other people's messages will then get pushed up further. So it's not that we'll miss them, but sometimes it can be more entertaining to some people if we are reading every message.
Yeah, that's
But-
good, guys. What's the rumor I'm hearing? I don't know about you, but what's the rumor that if Cox, if Lynch goes, Cox stays? Can't we put both of them on the rookie list if we have to?
No, I think it's so if we trade either, I think people are just saying that if we trade both of them because I mean Lynch is obviously a ruckman, but it feels like with Fly's trying to make Cox another ruckman as well. So
Okay.
when you take Cox or what, well, I mean, we'll just say this just to make the story a bit easier. Lynch will go in the next probably 24 hours. The deal will probably get done tomorrow. In fact, it probably should have got done today, to be honest. But you know, who knows what happened with the talks. So
Because
with
Dine
Lynch
will-
definitely gone, it wouldn't be good from a list point of view if we're going to trade Cox away as well, because then after Grundy and Cameron, we don't really have a ruckman after that. At least a ruckman that can come in and genuinely play AFL. Like you do have Begg, but he's not like a mainline number one ruckman.
Okay.
And you've also got Big Roo, who's only 18 years old, and if he plays this year, we've obviously screwed up pretty badly, or we've had a very bad injury year. So to have Cox there, he'll be our third best ruck in line.
Vladimir.
And it'll be a lot better if he becomes a ruckman, or it'd be a lot better if he stays, and he's our third ruck than probably Big Roo, I guess technically, if you have injuries too, so theoretically, if you trade Cox as well, if Grundy gets injured, then Cameron takes that spot. But then if Cameron gets injured and you don't have Cox there, who's going to play that role full time? Because they definitely won't be. And then you got Big Roo, and Big Roo's only like 18, 19, so he's going to take some time to develop. So maybe you go Roughhead, But then,
Yeah,
but then who's playing in the back? Well, actually, you could probably put Aiden Begg in the back line.
because that's what I was
And
just thinking, like, because surely, like, if we keep both Cox and Lynch, surely we could put one of them on the rookie list with less money, and then you can keep Lynch, and then you can play him in the back line or something. Surely that would have helped.
who was that playing in the back line?
Yeah,
With
we're
Lynch.
discussing, yeah, with Lynch, like, instead of putting him in the raft, right, put
Yeah,
him
but
in
I think
defence.
with Lynch, I think he's made it clear that he wants to be a ruckman. He doesn't want to be a backman or a forward. So it's difficult because you probably could have, he probably could have reinvigorated his career by being a backman, but because he doesn't want to do that, he basically just wants to be a ruckman. That's why we're trading him out, because he wants a full-time ruck role. But there's just no. In fact, I'm just getting a Twitter update.
Because surely we could do.
Basically, Fly ended up having a post on Twitter, and he ended up tweeting the Patrick Lipinski deal to Collingwood, and Fly ended up just saying yes with the hand clapping emoji with the black and white arms. I don't know why I'm finding that so funny, but that's hilarious.
Fuck me, man. Like, hi,
It's not surprising that he's happy, but like, I don't know, because he's on Twitter doing it, it's just.
Did you hear apparently on, I think it was on Twitter or Instagram, that Chad Wingard wasn't happy that his name got brought up twice, and he had to come out and say, no, I'm not leaving. But then he said that about Port Adelaide, and then look what happened. He said he was saying Port Adelaide, and then he went.
Yeah.
Because Hawthorn needs to get rid of, they are rebuilding. You want to try and get rid of some of the senior players as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, even if you ask me if I wanted a Wingard or not, I personally wouldn't take Wingard.
No.
I don't know if I should be saying this or not. Basically, long story short, I know of a few people that have been in the vicinity of Wingard, and every person that has spoken to me about it, they always come back with the same thing, and basically he's not really a people person, let's just put it that way.
Okay, because he's had personal dealings with Adam Cooney, and when he's had to deal with him on a personal level, he's come across alright.
Yeah, it's just, I probably shouldn't say like who. Basically, there's like someone that I know that.
No, you don't have to say the name if you don't want to.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to like not like give away too much information, but when it comes to Wingard as a person, I don't want to go too far because again, I may not know 100% if this is true or not, but it's come back to me from a few people that Wingard's probably not gonna. It's not that Wingard is a bad person, but he's not a very likable person, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Some players are like that, unfortunately. It's...
Yeah.
And then apparently Lob today said no to GWS. Yeah. Apparently his manager...
But I think that was also just due to, like, he didn't get much interest either, like... Because I think when the second all that news came out, it felt like he tried to break the news himself. But then when there wasn't a lot of clubs interested, and then it felt like he was going to get a far worse deal than what he was on.
Yeah, because he would have got less at the Giants.
Yeah, so he seemed like he was interested at first. But then I guess, you know, But once he put the idea out there, he just went, oh shit, well, the interest isn't as high as what I thought it was. Yeah, no, I'll just stay at Fremantle. So it wasn't a. I think he just. I think he just tried to get a better deal for himself, to be honest. And when he found out that the interest wasn't as high as what it thought he was, he sort of had a bit of humble pie, I guess.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, okay, maybe I'm not as good as what I think I am.
No, he's not. Like, I think he's kicked more goals than Cox, hasn't he?
Yeah, I put him in that Cox bracket where, like, in theory he could be fantastic, but like, he just hasn't done enough to warrant him being fantastic, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's not like he can kick 4 or 5 goals in the game, one game, and then, you know, if you can't mark it, bring the ball to ground, sort of type thing. And
well, the other thing he was saying too was that he wanted to be a forward and not a ruck.
Yeah, I've heard that
But
rumor.
then, like, unless if he's had that 1 or 2 games where he has kicked a massive, or where he has kicked, say, over 4 goals or something, I'm not too sure. But every time I see him, he's always struggling to kick 2 goals a game.
Yeah, we're talking
So
about.
I don't know how you're trying to be a forward and you're struggling to kick a second goal. Like, if you want your career to be a long and rewarding career, you got to be kicking more than 2 goals a game.
Even, I don't know who said, I think it might have been today or not, like, you gotta play different positions. Like, you can't just be just a forward all the time. Ball's not always gonna come down there, and that's why you need that release in the mark. Release in the mark. And I agree with Graz, like, he's very good at marking. He's like Ox. If you kick it to him, he's very good at marking the ball and bringing the ball to the ground.
Yeah.
It's just that he's lack of kicking as well.
I feel like with Cox, if he's in a contested marking situation, it's very rare he takes it. But if he leads out and you get him to run and jump at it without anyone impacting him, you can't stop him.
Yeah.
So like you gotta sort of like get him in those positions rather than.
Oh,
yes,
100%.
Tall, but that's the thing. If you're in a contested situation, you're gonna have people like keeping shoulder on you as well. So you're not gonna have everyone. What's it called? Like, you know, you're not gonna have, you know, a natural sort of like go at the ball sort of thing, because you're gonna have people bumping you from side to side. Where if you're leading out and there's not many people on you, if you run out and you genuinely jump and leap at the ball, there's very few people that can stop him. And I think that's what he'll probably do in the VFL, and they'll see how he goes. And then I guess we'll see how we go with injuries and stuff. But I mean, I could see him playing half a dozen games maybe, depending on what's going on. But then also at the same time too, I mean, you also got to sort of focus on the list at hand too, because you've also got players that were kind of developed.
But Cox isn't a ruckman though. That's the problem. I don't think he's a ruckman.
He's got the height for it. I think he's got the athleticism, or sorry, the endurance to run all over the ground. I think he does have the attributes. I just don't think he has the confidence, or he has the runs on the board to be a ruckman, if that makes any sense. But yeah. I think with Fly, I think Fly will obviously know that, and he'll try everything he can to not necessarily keep Cox accountable, but like he'll make sure that he's working on his ruck craft.
Yeah.
Because if Cox can be a decent ruckman, and we know he's 211 centimeters, if he can be a good ruckman with fantastic tap work, I mean, he could turn into someone like a Dean Cox for 2 years. Like, because he's you know, if Dean Cox was 211 centimeters, I mean, how enticing would that be?
Because like Cox doesn't. Oh, don't know if this is the right word, right way of saying it, but Cox is a forward rock. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think but that's the thing though. I think that's where they want him to go is they want him to they want his rocking part of his game to be more part time or more than just part time. So if he becomes a ruckman that goes forward, we know he can do all of his stuff up forward, and we know he does that well. So for his development, they're trying to improve him as a ruck than to improve him as a forward because he's already there as a forward. He just needs guys like Lipinski, Adams, Pendlebury, DeGoey, all those guys in the midfield, sprinting through the centre. And then if one of them blazes out a pass to him and hits him on the chest, like that's it. That's really all we need to do. Or even just key it into his vicinity and just let him jump at it.
Yeah, definitely. Because Darcy Cameron's a ruckman. He's not a
Darcy
forward.
Cameron's definitely a ruckman. But that's the thing though, Cox would be a better option than Cameron.
Yeah,
if Cox
100%.
becomes a better ruckman. If Cox becomes a better ruckman, then he becomes a better option than Cameron, I feel. Because Cameron up forward, he's just... That's the thing though, because I mean, Cox is just as much as a giraffe, if not more than Cameron.
Oh yeah.
But like, Cameron just like, when it goes forward, you just know he's out of position where Cox feels more at home up forward. So theoretically, if you can have Cox develop his rock game, he then becomes a better player because you've got a part to his game that he does part-time. If he can get it to the level where he can then do that full-time, it makes him a better player.
Yeah, 100%.
So... yeah, I mean, I can see Cameron being forward anyway, even though... I mean, that's going to be interesting, because, like, that's the thing, if Cox can actually go out of his way to improve his ruck game, does that mean he plays round 1 and Cameron plays VFL? Because you would think if Cameron plays VFL, he probably plays as a ruckman.
Yeah, I would have it as that, but I think with Cox with Cameron is that if Lynch isn't there, I think Cameron has to be in the ruck. I don't think he's a very good forward at all, Cameron. I think Cox is a better forward than what Darcy Cameron is.
I think Cameron just, I don't know, there's something really off about him. There's something where there's a very, very good player in him, but you don't know where to go with him, whether if you develop him as a forward or develop him as a ruck. Obviously we're trying to go both ways and do both. But yeah, I mean, as I said, like, I think...
I wonder who kicked more goals this year, Cameron or Cox? Out of those two, I know Mychek's won the goal kicking award.
Personally, I think if our ball delivery is a lot better and we're kicking a lot more smarter, I feel Cox could, because that's the thing, if you have Cox as a permanent forward, Cox could be kicking 2 goals a game, because he was doing that prior anyway.
Yeah, I know.
So, if you're getting 2 goals out of... Well, let's look at this. If you look at our forward line, if all 6 players say kick 2 goals each, what's that, 12 goals?
Yep.
And then all we need to do is have 4 goals from the midfield. That's 16 goals.
Oh, that's a big call, plays. He reckons Cameron or Cox could be the next Ben Brown. Both of them could be the new Ben Brown. Ooh, that's a big call. You know what? I don't mind that type of call. because then we can discuss it. I
Well,
think,
that's the thing. I think that's where they're trying to go with Cox. Is that they're trying to get him to be that Ben Brown, but
do
then
you think
also
he's
as well
better?
they want him to improve that the part-time ruckman part to his game, so that when he gives Grundy a chop out, he actually does a very serviceable job.
Yeah.
Um, but then there was even people saying in the game the game against Richmond, a lot of those goals in that fourth quarter was actually because Cameron was in the ruck and it was his tap work,
Yeah.
and his connection to the midfielders was a lot more better than what Grundy's was. So I think when it comes to it, I think Cox is the better forward, but Darcy's the better ruckman.
Yeah,
So
I think that as
when you
well.
have Grundy in the side, you'd probably pick Cox, but like and that's the thing. Like I think the opportunity still is there for Cox because of the fact that we have a new coach, so everything's like fresh and everything can start at square one. So
I think this could be the best move that's ever happened with Cox, personally. If he goes to Brisbane, I bet your ass that we'll keep Lynch, and he will be that ruck forward.
oh, Lynch is like that's the thing. Lynch is better than both of those two.
Oh,
Lynch is better than
100%.
Cox and Cameron because he's a better ruckman than Cameron. And I personally thought over the last year or two, I thought his forward work is actually really underrated too. Or not? Well, I mean, he's still developing it, but like even in the stage that he's developed it to this extent, I think it's better than Cox. Because I think even though he is the size that he is, I feel like he's a lot more nimble as someone like a Cameron or a Cox. Like he's a lot more flexible.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, but I do think that Lynch to Hawthorn will be a thing though, and I think it will happen.
Well, pick 43.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
I reckon.
personally, I'm hoping for a second round pick, but something is telling me we're gonna trade him for a third.
Can Lynch
Can Lynch
play
play
forward? Ooh.
I personally think so.
Yeah, I think he could.
The other thing that we've always spoken about too is that I think Lynch could be a better backman as well too. So someone like
Yeah, that's
Jordan
what I
Roughead was to
was.
go down.
That's what I
I
was.
thought Max Lynch would have been the next backup, but as I said, it looks pretty clear now that he's going to go to Hawthorn, and it
Because they're
looks like
still
it'll
waiting
probably
for
be a
Darcy
third
4,
race.
aren't they?
Yeah, they're still waiting for 4.
So if that deal doesn't get done, then what happens then?
So if Darcy 4 doesn't go to Brisbane, well then they obviously need somebody. So it'll be out of Cox and Casbolt. And I guess because they're trying to, I would imagine Brisbane are trying to go down the bracket of, because they can get Casbolt for extremely cheap, they're trying to use that as a part of their bargaining power where they're trying to say, well, if we can get Casbolt cheap, Cox basically does the same thing, so why should we pay more to get Cox when we can just get Casbolt for free, basically. So I think that's where the talks are. So,
Was
we'll
it
just have
smart
to see
by
how that
us?
goes.
Was it smart by us to wait with Lynch, Cox, and Sire, in your opinion?
What in terms of like waiting for a deal or something? Or,
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Sire should go at all now. I think Fly will turn him around, and as I've said a few times probably my channel and your channel as well. I reckon Sire's going to be in the top 10 for the best and fairest next year. I think he's going to turn it around that well and that quickly too. When you get someone to believe in you and you get someone to get confidence back into you as well and you start to love the game again,
Yeah.
with a guy of his physical nature, he's just a bash and crasher, and he's like Taylor. He's like, the best way I can put it is that he's Taylor Adams if Taylor Adams was 6'3". Like, how is that not like a good thing? Like Taylor Adams is what, 180 centimeters, maybe.
Yeah. Tell you what.
Size 191.
Yeah.
So he's basically he's got the grunt and aggression of Adams in the midfield and getting that ball as an inside mid. He could probably he's probably more of a Swan than a Pendlebury on the outside, but at least he's also got that part to his game as well where he can be an outside mid as well. But his bread and butter is basically like a Josh Kennedy from Sydney, where
Awesome.
he's just like Adams, where he goes into the contest, and I mean, people call him the Bear, and they call him the Bear for a reason, because imagine like a full-on bear attacking a football contest. That's exactly what you get when you get Sia. So, alright, all good, mate. Take care. But yeah, like that's basically exactly what you're getting with I was gonna say Sierra or Sire. I don't know
Brandon
which one it
Sire.
actually is. Sire.
I'd
Well,
say
yeah, there you
Sire.
go.
I'd say Sire.
I've heard so many different names, so it's not even funny. I'm just trying to figure out. I mean, even ever since he's turned up, I've been trying to figure out which one's his right name. But yeah, I think Sire is actually right now. Now that I think about it. But yeah,
I've heard this
yeah.
same thing, but the boys call him Phil.
Yeah, because of the fill-in situation. You obviously know about that, yeah?
Yeah, I knew about that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... That kind of annoys me too, because I feel like that was also one of the reasons why Bucks didn't like him as well. Like, I feel like Bucks fell out of love with Sire just from that alone.
Yeah, I think
you
it's
know,
that.
with Bucks having a military background and the fact that he was brought up so much as a kid on, you know, always being professional.
Yeah.
I feel like deep inside that would have like killed him, and like it would have hurt him really bad, like internally, because he's just never lived a life like that. Like, he's always been precise, always doing the right thing, and like always making sure you're giving yourself every chance to be as successful as possible.
Oh, 100%. I think that can be good and bad as well.
Yeah, but I think as well, Buckley was never good at anyone that like went to the opposite of that, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think it's...
But no, like I reckon we're gonna see I reckon we're gonna see him in the top 10 of the best and fairest next year, because he's just one of those guys where if he gets back into just feeling the love for the game again and just enjoying his footy and not having to worry about someone that's always breathing down his neck in terms of like, you know, always expecting him to be a professional person, I think that's going to be just a breath of like fresh air to him. So yeah, I think that's going to be massive when it comes to picking a side, because if you pick him in there, I don't think anyone's doubted that he's had talent, but
I love his talent.
Yeah, like he just needs...
He needs a good kick in the bum sometimes.
To
And
an
I reckon
extent,
he
but I
needs,
think
and he also needs someone to say, right, we're gonna play you. Let's see how you go. Like in a
yeah,
month or 6 weeks, no matter how bad it is, and that way it might be easier.
yeah.
Not the most exciting match, but the fans of the winning side will feel pretty good right about now.
So then, I guess that's why the next question is: what deal do you think is done next? Do you think Cox goes, or do you think Lynch goes?
Personally, I would rather have Lynch stay, but I
Yeah, but
think
in
he'll
terms of the
go.
deals, though. Yeah, but in terms of the deals, in terms of what you think is going to get done or not,
I think
because I
it's.
feel like, yeah,
Hey Tom, I think a third rounder. I think more likely for Lynch.
yeah,
I feel that's got that into it more than anything.
yeah,
With Cox, I think we'll try and get second rounder, but it'll be a third rounder. So whoever gets the deals done first should be, I think, very interesting indeed. Could we pick up Brander at pick 2 in the draft? Ooh, what do you think of that?
um,
I'll let you answer
well,
that.
yeah, it depends. It depends on Brenda. I think we would, because even though, because like he's not going to be a key back, so if you're thinking he's going to be a key back, that's just not going to happen. He's more of a Jeremy McGovern type down back than he is like a Jordan sort of like Jordan Roughhead. So he's more that intercepting sort of type. So he'd be taking more of like Howe's role than probably anything else.
Yeah,
But then in saying that, you've probably got guys like Tom Wilson, Jack Madgen to an extent. You know, maybe he's in that bracket. I've only gone off guys off the top of my head. Um, Trying to think of other guys that play like, but yeah, I'm sure, like you can think of other guys that play that same role. Um, Obviously, except for probably Howe, I feel like Miranda could be better than. Um, he may not be better than Wilson, because I think Wilson came along a fair way, and I think next year, especially if Howe goes down again, I feel like Wilson's going to be that next one in line, and I think Wilson's going to take over Imagine.
yeah,
Um, so he'll be probably tied, or he'll be around the mark around where probably where Wilson will be. Um, and then I think as well, like just having that one spot, getting confident being in that spot, Brandon could then be better than Wilson. So I don't know. It's interesting because
problem is, if we, whoa, oh shit,
well, in saying that too, you could even have Penderbury go back, and if he's going to be a backman, I mean, he could theoretically, be that Jeremy Howe type as well, or a Chris type. Well, he's probably more of a Chris type than Howe, but
I
yeah,
think Lynch had to swallow his pride. I think he just had to.
yeah. Well, I think having Penderbury in the back line and putting Crisp in the midfield, I think that's going to be a hell of a lot better. Just so that Crisp can actually be that midfielder, and we can theoretically have, Penderbury looking after the defence. Because it's not that we have a defence that's super inexperienced. But I think, especially if someone like a Howe goes down, it was very clear that there was no one to like. It's gonna sound weird, but there was someone there to calm the farm, sort of thing.
Yeah,
And then once we played that game, I think it was against West Coast. If you watch that whole back line once Howe came back, no one was shitting themselves. Everyone knew, alright, we've got a plan to do. We're not going to crumble under the pressure. As long as we stick to our plans, no one's going to get pressured to where they're going to cough up the ball. No one's going to make a mistake. Everything's going to work fine. And I feel that happened because Hal was there and Hal was directing that. So I feel like, especially if Hal gets injured again, I feel like Pendlebury will probably have to go back down there because he'll be that, leader to go down and be like, hey, you just got to follow my lead and you just got to trust me that things will work out, regardless of what you do. Because that's the thing, players don't go out there to be shit, yeah? So
Yeah,
when it comes
100%.
because when it comes to, as long as they're focused and they're willing to make the best choices for them, then that's gonna, when they get the ball, then they're gonna make the best choices for the team. So I feel like if you get someone like a Canterbury down there, it'll be like someone just to steady the ship, so to speak, and just that person just to come in and sort of, just to give them a bit of stability than probably anything else. I'll see if there's been any other trades, but
I don't think there's been any. I think
no. No, it's only been Lipinski. Lipinski's been the only trade. Maybe trading news, maybe.
I reckon we've won the trade. Period. I think.
You reckon?
Yeah. Man, to get Kruger, to get Lipinski, to do the draft deals that we've done.
I will say this: we have had a great trade period. I just don't know if it's been the best one out of all the teams. Here we go. Here's something. Hawthorn wants Max Lynch, and they should trade Tom Mitchell to Collingwood. Oh, then he's got laughing, crying emojis. I don't know if he's serious or not.
Yeah,
Would you
no.
do that? Max
No.
Lynch for Tom Mitchell?
No.
No, I wouldn't either. Um, Lynch has requested a trade to the Hawks. Okay, that's someone saying that. I don't know if that's coming out of Tom Lynch's, Max Lynch's camp. Oh no, there you go. Sports Day Radio reported it.
Okay,
So
well,
that is
Lynch or
official.
Mitchell?
No, Max Lynch has requested to be traded to Hawthorn. So it looks like yeah, it looks like Hawthorn will be getting Lynch regardless now.
That's interesting. Yeah, it was. I reckon we should have played him against Hawthorn and Essendon.
Yeah. Yeah, so now that Lynch has requested a trade, obviously that's gonna happen now. So it looks like we might keep Cox. Cox's out of contract, isn't he?
Yeah.
Alright, so it doesn't matter what his contract is because we can just pay him as a small amount as possible.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But he's been paid pretty well ever since he's been here, hasn't he? Like there was at least 1 year I know he got paid what, like 600,000.
Cox, yeah,
So
Cox was only pretty high.
So it's not like we've underpaid him or anything.
We should sign Cox for a year with a trigger for a second.
Yeah, I'd be up for that.
Yeah.
If you have like a trigger for a second, so like if say Cox plays more than 10 games or something, or like more than, you know, if he plays say more than half, which would be what, 12 games, then yeah, you can trigger a second. Yeah, so then would that mean that
No,
Cox
Max
would
Lynch
probably be
is
able to go?
the delisted free agent.
Is he?
His contract expired, remember?
No, so Max Lynch is uncontracted. We don't have to delist anybody till like November, I think. So he's still uncontracted, so we haven't listed him yet. So he's still on our list. So currently, right now at this time, he's currently on our list, but he doesn't have a contract for next season. Yeah, Tom, exactly right. Yeah, we didn't list him, so.
Yeah, so that means we have to.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope that we get like, I don't know, maybe I've got my biased sort of like opinion on this. I mean, I want to trade Lynch for a second round, but I've just got a feeling that it's going to be a third.
I think that's what's going to be.
By the time that Lynch goes to Hawthorn, he'll be worth the second pick. Like, I've got no doubts, like, he'll be worth the second round pick, but then again, I guess it's also probably the Lipinski situation as well, where Lipinski theoretically is probably better than Lynch anyway, and what, we got Lipinski for pick 43, so.
Unfortunately, we've got no choice. We might have to non-plays. It's part of the trade period. If he wants to go to Hawthorn, we have to accept the fact that, hey, we're going to have to get something good deal for that.
Yeah. We also have to take a pick anyway, because we've got to make sure that we get enough points for Dacos and Div as well too. And then also, once all those points are gone, we need to make sure our third and fourth pick are as high as possible too. Because I believe what they were trying to do was, they were trying to get a pick, or they wanted a pick roughly in the, like, they wanted like 2 picks, one in the 40s and I want to say one in the 60s, around there. And the pick in the 40s that they were going to try and see if a key defender slipped through the draft. And then I'd imagine with a 4th, that might be where we get like a small forward.
Should be interesting. Ooh.
But then again, Div would be the small forward, wouldn't he? So that he would be
I don't think we need Brandon.
We don't need him, but if he's going to be there at pick 2, I mean, could you get any, like, you wouldn't, I mean, for a pre-season draft, I mean, he's a pretty solid pick at pick 2.
Pretty
I mean,
much.
would we get anyone better than him though? I don't think you would.
No.
Unless if someone like Dawson goes to the pre-season draft, and then we screw over Adelaide for that. But then I feel like that'll have its repercussions as well.
Speaking of it, apparently Adelaide offered something to Sydney. It's been lodged, so it's up to Sydney to accept or decline.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it's on the AFL app.
Yep. Alright, I'll check it out.
Here we go. Jamie Lambert, what can I do? got it.
They get around her after that effort. The Magpies could kick back-to-back goals. 27 points the difference. Thrashes it. Fighting hard was Campbell. Outruns the tackler. Puts the kick low. Can't take possession.
Someone ended up making a post on Twitter saying, so when she's gone, who's our next podcast host?
Gets a
And then people, yeah, saying like, certain people, but then also some people saying, yeah, nobody, because whoever hosts a podcast normally leaves.
quick kick away.
Because you got Lynch who hosts a podcast, and then Flip
Well picked up.
hosted a podcast, so apparently, according to Collingwood, if you ever host a podcast, good luck staying at the club.
Strike to mark. That's holding the ball.
That's fucking cool.
Kick by Tar. Intercepts the ball well.
Collingwood are allowing too many marks inside the opposition.
Yeah, no, there's a whole bunch of love for Lynch on Twitter now.
Find it difficult to keep the lead.
I did like him,
Driving kick.
don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I think he doesn't get played enough. Bucks didn't play him enough, and Robert Harvey.
Yeah, I think for him it was a thing of it was too little too late, and
Kicks it. Finds the spot.
yes, his best position was maybe a ruckman, but I felt like if Fly had him for at least 1 year and turned him into a backman, I reckon he would have been a really, really good backman.
Sends the ball inside 50.
Or even hell, even if he chucked him up forward,
Lining up from a 45-degree angle.
because I would have him over Cameron
Going for goal number 1.
and Cox for sure.
No, I haven't seen that.
The Roos looking to bring it back into play. Marks in a bit of space. Porter puts it on the boot.
Oh well, I guess if they're hosting podcast craze, I guess they're probably off to other teams and they'll probably get traded.
Good race to get this one. Leeds got her high there.
Because apparently what's going around is the rule that if you host any podcast, you'll be off to a different team being traded, so...
The kick from Kiyochi.
Like, it shouldn't matter if they're hosting a podcast.
No, but it's just the fact that they have those two things in common. People are just like having a bit of a laugh over it. People
yeah,
aren't
fair
taking it
enough.
seriously. Yeah, no, people weren't taking it seriously.
Channels a long kick.
Yeah.
To gather the ball. Picked off the deck. She takes aim. Misses everything with that kick. The kick goes out on the full from Fowler.
No,
So is there any
no.
other... So other than...
Uses it by foot. 1 minute left to play.
Yeah, no, it's all good, mate. Just chill. Like, we're just having a bit of fun.
Yeah, it's a bit of fun.
Haven't been able to earn many set shots inside.
Good grab there for King.
Yeah, it's all good, mate. Especially Monday. Monday won't be going anywhere. It'll be retiring on his turn. I can guarantee you that right now.
Doesn't take the mark. The ball mopped up. Goes for goal number 1. No issue.
If Hawthorn get rid of some of those players, ooh,
Back with another centre bounce. King
Yeah, I will say this. If Wingard goes, there's someone I know that'll be very happy.
stands tall and marks. 50 metres out.
I'll just put it that way.
Taking a nice grab.
the disabled Hawthorn fan. Do you know him?
What? What's that?
You know that disabled guy is a Hawthorn supporter? Do you know him?
Well within range from here.
Have you seen
Who's
the...
this?
You know that Hawthorn guy that got bashed by that Melbourne supporter guy? And it was on the news couple years back?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah, I know him.
What was he
I can
like?
tell. Don't even get me started with him. Let's just say that. Oh God, what can I say here? Let's just say that he's all talk and no action, and when he puts his foot in his mouth and says the wrong thing, he's the first one to
Deny
to
it.
to scream foul. No, he's the first one to scream foul. Because he went straight to the media and basically said that this guy was nasty and mean to him. I can guarantee that that wouldn't have happened because I've known him for a while now, and yeah, he's very much all talk. But then once a punch is thrown his way, he's one of the first people to cower away. So
Okay,
I've got
because I
I've
didn't
got
know the guy personally, and like I thought, you know,
I've known him long enough to know who he is, or the type of person he is, and I mean I've tried to help him out here and there, in terms of just
like
you know
how to
wanting,
act in public and that.
yeah, and like just you know because he's spoken to me about certain situations and how things have like you know certain situations have like flipped on its head and you know and he loves to cry victim too. So even though he'll never admit that he would have escalated the situation or caused the situation, he would have
Because I've heard that he says some nasty things to other people.
yeah. Oh, he's a massive hypocrite.
Okay. Like
Yeah,
as I said, like I don't know
I
the
actually
guy
hope, I
personally,
think,
and that's why I thought I asked that
oh, I
because
mean, in terms of like knowing him personally, I mean, I don't know his family or anything like that. But like, as I said, I've known him enough times. I've probably I've seen him probably about 100 times. I've had lunch with the dude, like, you know, probably about 20, 30 times. Like, I've known him enough to know who he is
do you
and the
try and
type of
stay
person he
away
is.
from him in public so you don't get into trouble?
No, I don't like. I mean, I just let him be. Like, I just let him do his own thing. But um, he's a face I can like. Whenever I see his face, I always know exactly who he is. I just don't like him, so it's not that I avoid him or I try to stay away from him if I'm cowering away from him. But I'll if I see him, I'll make sure that I keep note of it, just because I know he's not necessarily the. It's not that he's like a dodgy person, but like he's just don't always believe everything he says.
Ah, okay. So he's one of those type of people.
Yeah.
Because I think it's funny on when he goes off at the game when Hawthorn playing and they lost. I thought that was fucking
Oh,
funny.
and I could guarantee you, he would have talked so much shit. Someone would have lost it and would have punched him in the face, and he would have went straight to reporters, and he would have screamed foul. Then he got punched in the face after he would have called someone like he would have called someone like the worst thing you could call someone, and then he would have called foul, and then because of the media, they would have eaten it up because it's the dude that has a disability, and they would have played the victim card, which he does all the damn time because that's who he is as a person. He just plays the victim. Um, yeah. To be honest, I'm kind of even tired of talking about him because he's just not worth my time.
No, I'm sorry, man. I just thought I asked because I don't know him.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Like,
That's why I thought I'd bring it up because like I have no idea what he's like, and because you only hear like on what happened, like oh yeah, you feel sorry for him, but in a way like it's you know situations like that you need to bloody.
yeah, no, I completely understand. Question here from Tom: is Darcy Moore the best defender in the competition?
Fuck
I
yeah.
think my surprising would. I think my answer wouldn't be too surprising, but yeah, what's yours on it?
Fuck yeah. He
Yeah,
is.
the only thing that makes me doubt it is the fact that he hasn't had consistent seasons where he's been injury free. That's my only like. That would be my only thing I could probably put to say that he wouldn't be. But yeah, I think he definitely is. Especially as someone that's a key defender that literally does everything, like mans up on a man, keeps them quiet, gets the ball, and has pretty good disposal by foot. And then also can grab the ball and take the game on, and can change, can change the game just by his play alone. A lot of players may do one or two of those things extremely well, but not the whole package. And that's where I think Darcy Moore is the best defender, because he does literally everything at an elite level.
He's better than a Redoing, let's be honest.
Oh, we don't want to get we don't want to get into that. um,
Right, Alex Pearce is the best defender. He kept 2 of the Kings to 0 goals this season. No, that's just your opinion. Agree and disagree. Maybe Stephen May would be the only one close to him.
Puts it on the boot. Nice mark under pressure. Kick goes inside the 50. Finds the target.
I feel now, just looking back on it, I think Paolo might struggle. Because now Laddens has chosen to go to the Swans now.
yeah, that's basically yeah, what I've been hearing too. But I was hearing he was going to go for like a second round or something. He's not worth a second round, is he? Because Port didn't even want him.
Lots of things about that.
Yeah, because I remember I think they wanted like pick 30. I'm thinking, like, sure, it wasn't a couple of weeks ago where like they basically had an exit meeting and they told him like, yeah, you're probably not going to be here anymore.
Yeah, I can say so.
Sounds really strange how it's like they tell a guy, hey, you're not going to be on our list next year. So yeah, no, we'll take a pick 30 for him. It's like, huh? That doesn't work like that. Like, you don't get an early second round pick when you just prior to that told the guy that he doesn't have a future there. Like, that's like that's like if you're gonna trade someone off, like you're gonna be getting like a pick in the 50s or 60s if you're lucky.
Yeah, I don't think he's worth like the best out of it. He hasn't probably shown
I mean,
that he can.
he could potentially, because you just never know with a player like that. And I mean, he has played good footy before, so. But again, it should just come down to the asking price, and then just like where the player was going into being asked to be traded off. Because I mean, like we've spoken about like Lipinski, how like is Lipinski worth a second round pick? And the answer is yeah, he probably is worth a second round pick. But you don't give him a second round pick because Dogs never had him in the back half of the year.
No, that's
the back half of the season.
So is that our third rounder now that we got him for?
So it's pick 43. So I think it's an early third round pick.
Yeah.
Which I thought we should have. I mean, it should have been pick 58, but we did also have pick 48, which would have been better. I just think just for the currency in what happened, I think even though I'm so happy that we have him, so regardless, like this was never a bad trade. I just feel that it just should have never been 43, and it should have been either 48 or 58, like around that mark, because the fact that they can not have him in the back half of the year, but then turn around and get him as for an early third round pick.
I think that's fucked.
it now. Picks up the loose ball.
Yeah, I'm not going to even entertain the Alex Pierce comment. We know who the best defender is in the competition. And the only reason why people may not think he is only because he's injured most years. So once Moore starts to get up and running and he's playing every game every year, yeah,
He's
he'll be all
dominating.
Australian.
He's dominating.
Yeah, he'll be an all Australian every year till he retires.
So people have their opinions, they agree and disagree. That's one thing I like about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Stephen May would be the only one close to him. Well, I think McGovern was in that bracket, but I think he sort of dropped off the last year or so. Um, but yeah, I only can look at Moore and look at everything that he does, and then not have anyone else above him because he does everything like well. Like there's not one thing to his game he does at like a poor level.
There'll be a ball up in the centre square. Alexander clears the contest. Goes off the ground. Wins the race to the ball. Randall quickly onto the boot. Opts to play on. We're down to the last minute and a half.
I think
Yeah, I
Alex
think
Pearce
both.
is a. I think Alex Pearce can be a good defender as well for Fremantle.
Looks up with the kick.
Oh, personal opinion, I do rate him. I don't know if he's the best defender.
Tries to kick it.
Oh,
I mean, he could be a solid defender. To be fair, I don't know too much about him, so I probably shouldn't comment on that sort of thing. But when it comes to Pierce and Moore is the far better player and defender.
Brown gathers it now. The ball popped up.
Like, unless if Pierce is, holding players, goalless most weeks, has pretty elite kicking efficiency, is grabbing the ball and driving the ball forward, and then kicking it, say, 60 metres, 70 metres down the line. Unless if I'm taking that from Pierce, he doesn't touch a candle to what Moore does.
Just put it on the boot. Gets into a good position to take it. Ends up marking that contest.
fuck.
I think both the South Australian clubs are trying to get after Rankin and the coaches. I don't think it's just sport though.
Goes by foot.
Because I know
This-
Adelaide were trying to give all those picks off to North Melbourne, which is a bit weird, but I mean if they keep all those picks that they have, they can then trade those picks to the Gold Coast anyway.
Moves it quickly.
Fuck. Lost it.
North Melbourne builds some confidence off the back.
Oh, I was in front, I choked.
Final score.
So if you were Gold Coast and like Port Adelaide or Adelaide, what would you take for Lukosius and Rankin? Would you think that 3 first-round picks or 4 first-round picks would have to do for that to happen?
Oh, you say so.
Because it is 2 players that are probably worth at least 1.5 first-round picks at the very least. So if they're both going to be traded there for 3 first-rounders, maybe even chuck in a second. Or maybe take out a second and put in like a best 22 player. Maybe that's probably from South Australia. That's probably going to be homesick anyway. You could probably look into that, and that's probably where you can probably get a deal out of that.
Potentially,
I'm sure there's someone on the Gold Coast list that's from South Australia. That's obviously not Rankin and Lukosius. Man.
I think I was at this game. Yeah, Connell Melbourne.
Tour of 26 games with the Demons. Gary Lyon. Welcome, Gaz.
I don't know if I was at this game or not. Wasn't this? Oh no, this was at Sydney, wasn't it?
Versus the Demons.
Collingwood Melbourne. That was at
Yeah,
Victoria
but
Park.
this year when Collingwood played Melbourne, wasn't that at Sydney?
Yeah, the AFL boys
Yeah.
were, yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm playing the women's.
Well, are you doing? Oh, you playing the women's, are you? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The banners look great as the players get set to run through them.
That's probably something I could be doing. I could be doing the women's thing as well for a grand final.
They run on in full confidence. They're looking sharp, and the crowd are appreciating it. The cheer squad's hard work is paying off. The banners are looking great.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind to go to a game some interstate. I feel like that would be a pretty cool experience.
Oh, yeah. Let's have a look how my videos are faring too. So 41 views of the was it worth getting Dan Baines back to the club. 58 for the emergency video for Collingwood. Mark Calder has resigned. Wow, fuck me, man. I'm killing it. I'm fucking killing him.
It's good.
One down. Paxton got the ball.
Oh.
Quickly onto the boot. Corner doesn't take the mark. Picked up now. A bit too hard with a push, but it's a free. Uses it now. A good mark under the circumstances.
Do we have a vehicle? Oh yeah, we've got a vehicle. But I don't know if it's
Rushes with the kick.
have we got the actual VFL players in here?
There is a VFL one, yeah.
The kick.
Because I was gonna go to Collingwood. Because remember there was an incident with the Collingwood players in the VFL. They thought that the VFL would get cancelled, but it wasn't. I was gonna go to the Collingwood Essendon game.
It's a classic game we're seeing right now.
Fuck, I would have gone to it too.
Alexander got in the better
There's some of these names I don't even know who the hell they are.
Benici looks to convert this opportunity.
Well,
Doesn't
Max,
even look like
Max Lynch
doesn't even
played.
look, it doesn't even look like they have the captain in here.
Ball collected.
Taju.
Sanka kicks it. Ball picked up.
Well, there's co-hosts and there's co-captains in the VFL.
Teammates break for her.
Yeah.
Takes the mark all by herself. Butler keeping it low. Slams it on the boot. Ball up on the outer side.
Do you know when the women start up again?
Alexander won the hit.
January.
Snaffled up by Benici. It's a long
Okay.
kick.
Yeah, I want to try and go to the women's this year.
The recipient of the free. Six to slip
Because then I can make some AFLW content.
with a driving kick. Gets into a good position to take that. Moves the ball by foot. Takes the mark all by herself. With a driving kick. couldn't get the hand pass. Moved on by Allen. Great mark taken.
If you haven't, please like the stream. Please give it a comment. Subscribe if you haven't. Also check out Ultimate Greatness' YouTube channel. Make some great content as well. A big shout out to him. Please share the videos as well. On top of that, do you reckon Gunston and a 3rd round pick is fair for Lynch? Ooh. What do you think of that? Gunston and a 3rd round pick for Lynch. I think with Gunston, I think you could. I think that could be fair. But whether or not
that
the
would
club...
work out well for us, but I don't think it'd be... If we're going to get Gunston, I don't think it'd be for Gunston and a 3rd round. I feel like that'd be a bit too much for Lynch. But that... I mean, if that offer was there, I'd probably take it. In fact, I could actually see Wright doing something like that, actually, to be fair. Because he'll probably just be like, alright, well, we know these guys are in the fire sale at the moment. You guys clearly don't want them. And especially as well, we know that there's a bit of friction between Hawthorn and him as well, too. So, I think they might just want to get him out of the door anyway. So, even if it's, you know, maybe Gunston in a 4th round, I think that's probably more...
Cause he can be that
more
backman.
likely. Yeah, he can play both back and forward.
So we can keep Kruger in the 4-9 and Cox, right? And we can play Gunston in defence. And that way it might be easier.
He's not super tall though, is he?
190, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong,
just
chat.
like 190?
I think so.
I mean, I'll look at it, but I'm playing some ego, or I can check it out. $193.
Ah, it's not too bad.
Yeah, so he's not a key. He's not a key back though.
I'm gonna have some dinner, guys. I'm streaming. I'll let you take over the chat of the stream, Sean.
Well, I was actually gonna head off and do the same thing myself, actually.
Alright, if you're gonna head off soon.
Yeah, and then I was probably gonna come back and even do some streaming myself.
Alright. And if you're gonna stream, I'll let you stream. What about if I was gonna say, should I just end the stream now? And then that way, because I'll be quick when it comes to eating dinner. I'm generally pretty quick at eating dinner.
Nah, it's probably best to to close the live stream, I think. Because, you know, you don't want to be people waiting for you to come back, and obviously they'll be back eventually, so it might be better to close the stream for a little bit.
I suppose.
But I mean, yeah, it's up to you, but if you're gonna be off having like dinner and stuff, then, you know, it's just gonna be, you know, it's just gonna be radio silent for all that time.
Alright, I might end the stream, guys. So, unfortunately got called for dinner, so it's not much I can do. What I will do, guys, I'll let Sean stream this, the next one after dinner, as well, and yeah, definitely keep an eye on that one on top of it. I did play 2 games. So realistically, I think that's what I normally would.
Yeah,
To
he's
be honest.
193 centimeters, Tom. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, ideally, if we could get Gunson for, I mean, yeah, if it's Gunson and a third round pick, that would be awesome. But I just don't see Hawthorn saying yes to that.
Yeah.
But then
Alright,
again,
guys.
if Hawthorn, if we say Lynch for a second round pick, then say Gunson for a third, it would look more like we're giving them a better deal. But I don't know. I mean, we might have to. Oh, I guess we probably couldn't throw in another pick, but
I'm really enjoying
um,
this one, Hutto.
I think trying to get some more of that would be worth it though.
I kept it alive, right? Because. Yeah. Alright, guys, I'm just gonna end it. That's gonna be the end of the stream. I'll be back onto Sean's stream. Don't know if I'll stream afterwards or not. But yeah. Please subscribe to his, Sean's channel, Ultimate Greatness. And also check out mine videos as well. Much appreciated, and you guys have been amazing. I apologize. Gonna have dinner. But until next time, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye for now. Oh shit.